Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to you, Akim and Akwat, out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Alright, now this one's titled, "This is why you don't trust these devils," and in parentheses, "you were warned." Alright, now we're touching on a subject that I usually don't touch on too much. Well, not necessarily the topic, but the item we're touching on today, because mostly it's mostly done, gone, and past. Alright, and this thing that we're talking about is, of course, you know, the vid. Alright, we'll just refer to it as such. Alright, so you know, we're speaking of the vid, from around 2020. Alright, it'll be more apparent once we jump over there. Alright, we can do it. Alright, so this is what we're talking about today. Alright, and we're going to be very careful with our words. Now, this is from newsmedical.net, News Medical Life Sciences. So, you know, they have, I guess, a whole, have a whole thing, you know, dealing with this thing. Alright, we're going to refer to it as vid throughout the whole thing. Okay, so you can go and look through here. They have it's a bunch of information. It's not just all debunking it. All right. So, but there's a different thing in here, man. Okay. So let's see what we got. See here, it says, you know what against you know what. You know what? Again, we're gonna say the. How do we want to word it here? We'll call it the vake. All right, the vake. All right, we'll call it the vake. So the vake against vid may consistently reduce the lifelong vid. We're not gonna even say that word because it'll trigger their little algorithm. All right, so there you go. They're for it as well. They're for this, but you got to realize that they also seem to be bringing out the good and the so-called good, right, and the bad. All right. So, for example, this one says study reveals potential bioterrorism agents and urges enhanced biosecurity measures. It talks about bioterrorism agents in the Netherlands from 2009 and 19. All right, and I don't know why that's coming up in the section dedicated to vid, but you gotta think. But I just wanted to grab that real quick to show you that it's not 100% biased. They have everything on here. It's not just about this. They talk about daily multivitamins, heat damage DNA in food. A bunch of just generic, science mumbo jumbo, right? But I wanted to read this because this was very interesting. Of course, this isn't something old. We don't like to bring up old things. This is actually just from the other day on June 14th, all right, 2023. All right, it's currently June 17th, okay? So we just want to read through some of this because it was quite interesting to me, because the brothers, all right, have been teaching this for quite some time, and now there's and people, oh, that's not true. Well, now there's scientific backing for that, all right, because the brother said, hey, you're gonna end up getting that vake, all right, and when you get the vake, guess what? It's gonna make it to where you're gonna be more likely, all right, to get to not feel well, all right, we'll say. All right, to come down with an affliction. Okay, so we want to read this a little bit. It says the U.S. Senate, and this is one of those lessons where you're really going to have to watch long, because we're going to be using a lot of code words to get this out, but highlighting and other things like that. But it says the United States Center for, you already know what we're talking about. All right, for something control, right? It said updated their guidance on vid vac in April 2023. It says all individuals above the age of 6 who had received at least one dose of the vac were considered to be up to date with the vac. Conversely, individuals were considered not to be up to date if they had not received a single dose of the vac. All right, so that's what they're bringing to. Now, that's not what we're necessarily touching on. It's more down. It says recent research has not been able to document the efficacy of the vac. Now, what does this word mean? Let's look this up.
Efficacy.
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 The ability to produce a desired or intended result. Effectiveness. Right? Effectiveness. Says recent research has not been able to document the effectiveness of the vac. While the severe acute syndrome, alright, variants were the dominant circulating strains. Given that these variants remain the dominant circulating strains, it is reasonable to ask whether up-to-date individuals with the vac are protected against vid as compared to their not up-to-date counterparts. It says, addressing this issue, a recent study posted to the medRxiv preprint server investigates whether or not up-to-date individuals had a higher risk of vid than up-to-date individuals. Now it's saying it's investigating whether or not up-to-date had higher risk than the non-up-to-date people, right? Well, look what they ended up finding out. It says, and we're gonna have to read it because I don't really want to read this part, but if we leave it out, people, scoffers. It says the current retrospective cohort study was conducted at the Cleveland Clinic. The vid, messenger, this thing, the MR, right? Vac was first offered to employees on September 12th, 2022. The start date of the study was January 23rd, 2023, which was when XBB lineages first came the dominant circulating strain in Ohio. Now I'm being careful with what I'm saying because they'll take this down as, giving, advice about this situation when really we're just reading the article. But the article is going to tell everything we need to know. It says study participants were CCHS employees in any location on September 12, 2022 and remained employed when the XBB lineages became dominant. Individuals were excluded if their age and sex data were unavailable. The outcome variable was time to vid, which was defined by positive nucleic acid amplification test. The study participants were closely monitored until May 10th, 2023, which allowed for the evaluation of outcomes up to 100 days from the inception of the study. Here's what they found, and this is the point for the lesson. Because this is they think the opposite would happen, but nope. A total of 48,344 participants were considered, 1,445 of whom were censored because of termination of employment. Within the study, 12,841 were up to date on the vac by the end of the study. Of these individuals, 11,187 received the vac, and the one with the P. It says, and 1,654 received the modern vac. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but I can say modern. It says a total of 1,475 employees were infected with vid during the 100-day study period. The population was relatively young, with a mean age of 43 years old, and about 46% had a previous history of vid, and 34 were infected with the variant. Okay, the O one, the one with the O. says, moreover, 87% of the study cohort released that at least one vape dose, and 92% were exposed to vid and by either that or vape. Okay, now check this out. It says the risk of vid was lower. Listen here. The risk of vid was lower in the not up-to-date group as compared to the up-to-date group. On analyzing tertiles of propensity to get tested for vid, the not up-to-date group was not more likely to contract vid. So if you didn't get it, you were less likely to get sick. All right? And if you did get it, you were more likely to get sick. All right? And it also said that the up-to-date was not more likely. It wasn't more likely. As a matter of fact, it was less likely. Read it again. It says the risk of vid was lower in the not up-to-date group as compared to the up-to-date group. There you go. It says the classification for risk of vid was more appropriately provided by considering prior status. A significantly lower risk of vid was observed in individuals who were least affected by the Omicron, I already said it now, variants. However, no clear difference was noted between up-to-date and not up-to-date individuals when stratified by the most recent infection date. Alright, so there was no difference between the people. If anything, the people that got it were more likely to get sick. Alright? This isn't what we're saying. This is an article, a news article right here. It says one reason why being up to date was not associated with a lower risk was that the was less effective against XBB lineages of the variant. Another reason could be that the definition ignores the protective effect of immunity acquired from prior infection. So that's the other thing. Another reason could be that these people, the centers of control, ignores the protective effect of immunity acquired from having, because they said, if you got sick before, that doesn't offer you any immunity. Okay, but they're saying that it's either it's less effective, or that you're better off just with getting ill and having the natural immunity gained from that. Okay, there you go. So we don't really have to get the rest of that because it's exhausting to have to jump through hoops because they try to hide this information. Like I said, we don't like bringing up these things because it's kind of old news, but this is new news. All right, they did a study on it and found that, hey, look at the title of what it says of the article. It says being not up to date on vape linked to a lower risk of infection. So if you don't have it or you're not up to date, you're less likely to get it. So what kind of shit is that? They're telling you to get this so you don't get it, but when you get it, you're more likely to end up getting sick. So you got to think. All right, and I wouldn't be surprised if they take this lesson down still, even though we're jumping through hoops to make sure we don't trigger certain words. I would not be surprised because they don't want this information going out at all. Okay? And it's cool that they allow you on this site to download a PDF copy because you never know if it's just going to be taken down. So you can have it a physical copy of it. Okay? What do I have to do to get one? Well, we got it on video, so worst case scenario, we can go through here and just slowly go through everything. And now we have it all on video. So, there you go. Now it's archived. Another one. This is from the Toronto Sun. It says, Privy Council advocated downplaying vid-vac injuries or deaths. Okay? It says, the secret Privy Council office memo recommended that any vid-vac related injuries or deaths be carefully managed with winning communication strategies as to not shake public confidence. There you go. And we don't really need to read much of this, but you can see. What do we got? It says the Public Health Agency said of the 97.6 million vape doses administered at the time of the report, there were 20,428 serious adverse event reports. And there's more than that. They're probably toning that number down. Okay? What does it say? It says the reports included labor, breathing, and heart attacks, 55 reports, kidney damage, 78, spontaneous abortions, 87, facial paralysis, 187, which is ironic because 187 is a police code for murder. All right, if you look that up. Yep, the California Penal Code defines the crime of murder. Interesting. It says strokes, 281, deaths, 427, blood clots, 848. Look, why so many blood clots? And incidences of heart inflammation, 1,153. The Federal Compensation Fund to date has paid out millions on injury and death claims. All right. It says of the 427 death reports, it was not possible to access casualty for 112 reports due to missing information. All right. The separate $75 million vape injury support program received 1,299 claims due to you-know-what related deaths and injuries, with a total of 50 claims paid to date, totaling nearly $2.8 million. So only 50 claims have ever been paid out. So, and they try to cover these things up, and these things have been going out. We've done lessons on them before. All right, we've done lessons on them. A lot of this information doesn't like to go out in America. A lot of this information gets brought out in other countries. All right, that we can still see here in America, but a lot of it goes down in places like Norway or other places. All right, anywhere but America, because America doesn't want to have that. Well, like it says down in here, it says the Privy Council recommended that any vape-related injuries or death be carefully managed with winning communication as to not shake public confidence. They didn't want people to they didn't want to shake the confidence in people. They didn't want these people to be like, oh yeah, these things don't work, never mind. They wanted people to think that they worked. Why? If they don't work and they're causing deaths, and they found out that they're not as effective, and matter of fact, people are getting more sick, why is that? Then they want people to get them. You got to think. You got to think. So we're going to get Jeremiah 35 and 15, and we're going to grab this because this is speaking of how the prophets, go out there, all right, the highways and byways and on all sorts of these media platforms, YouTube, all right, what is it? Rumble, Odyssey, all right, BitChute to an extent, right? And they tell these things, all right. I remember when it was first starting going out, and they're saying, "Hey, get the vape," not the prophets, of course, but these government forces, right? These government agencies, and it was all over the news, all right, and saying, it makes it more accurate, blah 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 blah, or because they can't advertise the medication, but they can say, hey, you should go and get this. Or remember when they'd have it, you'd be on the highway, all right, and they'd have the signs on the highway saying, get the all right. You'd drive down, there'd be signs saying, free get the and jobs were saying you had to get the and if you didn't have the you couldn't go here, or certain something. If you were employed, you had to get it, or you'd get fired. All these different things, and during that time, all right, the brothers, all right, the prophets, all right, the elders, the apostles, the elders, and the brothers, all right, of GMS, specifically, because these other places were telling you to get it, but the apostles, elders, and brothers in GMS were saying, hey, don't get that thing, all right, and don't get that thing. You're gonna get that thing, and you're end up gonna get more ill. It's gonna make you worse, all right. And even before that, and before, during, and after, all right, all that stuff going down, they kept on saying, hey, you get this, and you're gonna be more likely to get ill. All right, it's gonna it's gonna open you up to have more illnesses. All right, not just the vid, but all these illnesses. All right, and who knows what else it's starting? It could be messed with by 5G and all that. And they were saying these things, but everybody didn't listen. But now look, now there's studies. Now there's a study saying that you're more likely to get ill if you get it. And the apostles, elders, and brothers were saying that from the get-go, and nobody believed it. All right, that's false information. That's false medical advice. So that's bad. You can't. That's blah 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 blah. But now there's studies. They're doing studies, and they're finding out that is the case. That you're more likely to get ill. So Wonder why they wanted all that information hid. All right, but and this happens with many different things. It's not just that. It's the before that, a little bit before I got in the truth. All right, they were saying there's going to be pandemics coming. There's going to be pestilences. Well, not pandemics necessarily, but pestilences and plagues coming. All right, and famines and shortages. And guess what? When that came around, all right, and hit, guess what? There was pestilences, plagues in the land. All right, famines to an extent, not to the full effect, but it was hard to find certain things during that time. Those stores were empty as fuck. I don't know if any of you did some shopping during that time. I assume most of you did, but yeah, those stores were empty as shit, man. All right, you could find certain foods, but man, it was hard to find anything good in there. All right, because people were panic buying. All right, but for that, I have Jeremiah 35:15, and it reads, "I have sent also unto you." I have sent also, I got the words twisted up. I have sent also unto you all my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, Return ye now, every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them. And ye shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and to your fathers, but ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me. All right, and the Lord sent his prophets for instruction, all right, to tell you, hey, do this, don't do that, do this. But guess what? You never learned. All right, you don't listen. Okay, and it's not just with this, but it's with all things. All right, don't worship those false gods. You don't listen. All right, don't do that evil thing. You don't listen. Hey, don't get that thing. You're gonna get more ill. You didn't listen. All right, you didn't listen. So that goes to show you, man. Hey, man, a lot of you people are through. All right, and a lot of you people aren't gonna make it. Okay, and you people that went and got that thing, who knows what's gonna happen to you, man? Who knows when they flip those switches, you're gonna be fucking jumping around like some puppet. Who knows, man? All right, people have already gotten ever since that time. All right, with the people getting the vake, all right, the jump shot. All right, people have gotten more aggressive. All right, acting more crazy. All right, the people that got that juice are going fucking nuts, man. Okay, but you didn't listen. You didn't want to listen, and all these things, and you're gonna see in time that all the things that the prophets warned you about are gonna come true, and it's gonna be too late. All right, they're gonna throw you into prisons. You don't believe it, and then it's gonna happen. All right, and this is just for you Jakes, because you Edomites and you other nations, it doesn't matter what you do or what you don't. All right, if you took that vake, I mean, you're gonna die, but you're gonna die regardless. Okay, you're gonna die regardless. All right, we only preach this gospel for Israel. All right, specifically for the 1/3. All right, the elect of Israel. All right, now all nations have to hear it and see it, but that doesn't mean they're gonna get it. All right, the reason this truth's going out is for the elect to come back, under the Lord. All right, it ain't gonna do much for a heathen. All right, other than just they're gonna get pissed off by it. That's it. Okay. But that's because this isn't for you. All right, this is for most notably the elect of Israel. Okay, and the people that are in the truth. All right, if they're truly in the truth, they listened. All right, they didn't get the vake. All right, the jump shot. I didn't go and get that shit. All right, nobody in where I'm staying now got the shit. All right, but I have family members that did. All right, for one reason or another. All right, the people I was staying with before, all right, rooming with before, they all got it. Every single one of them got it. All right? Every single one of them got it. And guess what? As far as the vid goes, I got it once. All right? And Lord willing, it stays that way. Okay? But all those other people at the other house, they've had it like fucking over 4 times now, man. Over 4 times. Okay? And they're going out wearing masks. All right? All got the vid, all got the up to dates, right? Every single one. Okay? They got number 1, number 2, number 3. I don't even know what number they're on. They got all of the Nike Boosts. Okay? They got all of them. Okay? They got all of them. And they go out and use they're bigger. No, we have there's about as many people. I think maybe one less. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about one less person. Let me see. Let me count. Let me tally it up. Yeah, there's one less person. All right, one less person, and we all go out. We don't wear any of those coverings. All right, we don't worry about all that stuff. All right, we don't have none of us have the vake, and we're going out here, there, around, shopping, going this and going that. Hell, touching all sorts of things. Like we went to an arcade recently. Not that matters, but an arcade. Oh, that's all. Not an arcade. Oh, these people would freak out because everyone's touching. Oh, everyone touches that thing. Oh, all the buttons. Oh my God. And a casino. All right, because you're allowed to go and have a time. As far as you can't have fun. Of the truth. Well, it's not really about having fun, but you can go out and have a dinner or gamble. Gambling's not going off. All right, but these people would, a lot of these vid brain people would fucking flip out. Everybody touches those. Yeah, you make sure to sanitize your hands. It's gross, but a lot of people touching, you don't know what they're doing. They're sitting there picking their nose and shit. But still, that's with anything. But these people go out of their house with the masks and sanitize every 2 seconds, and have all of the what is it? I think they're Jordan boosts, but have all the Jordan boosts. All right, and you know what we're talking about when we say the Jordan boosts. All right, the up-to-dates, right? They have all those things, and guess what? They still got it more than us that are going out and not wearing any of the coverings and don't have any of the not the first Vake nor any of the ones after it. None of the Jordan boosts or Nike boosts, whatever they are. Okay, so you got to wonder, why is that? Why is it? Oh, and the other thing is that they said, they said that so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are more likely to get vid. Well, everyone at that house, was an Edomite, and they got it more. But everyone over here is a Jake, all right, a so-called Negro. So you got to wonder, why is that? The news and the media and what they're saying is not adding up. It's not adding up, and it hasn't added up. All right, and the prophets have warned you about it, and warned you about it, and warned you about it, and that's why there's not many lessons going out about it anymore, because you've been warned, okay? And I don't make videos on vid anymore because it's just pointless. But with this development, I said, you know what? I usually don't do lessons on that, but the Spirit was on me to go and make a lesson on it. All right, there probably won't be another one on vid for a long time because what is there to say? Oh, it's bad. Don't do it. Don't get it. So, but this is. Because of this article, I saw it on my home screen when I was going through my Google News, and I said, you know what, I got to touch on that, man. I got to touch on it, because the prophets were saying that very thing, saying, hey, it's gonna make you, and that's the reason that I made the lesson. Well, really, the reason is because Yahweh Shemiah Shai put the Spirit on me, but through the Spirit, when I was looking, I said, man, I got to go in on that for the simple fact that that's exactly what the prophets were saying, was that you're gonna be more likely to get illnesses if you get that, and guess what? Now there's scientific proof that you're more likely to get the shit if you got it. If you got the Vake. All right? If you got the jump shot, man, you're more likely to get it. So I had to go in on that for the simple fact that that's what the article said, man. But hey, and the prophets were telling you, but guess what? Let's read it again. Jeremiah 35:15. I have sent also unto you all my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them, and ye shall dwell in the land where I have given you and to your fathers, but ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me. And this is really for the Israelites, because this is speaking to the Israelites, and that's the only people we're concerned about anyway. Okay? But you went to other gods and served them. And really, if you really want to think about it, this is, of course you got your false gods like Jesus Christ and Buddha and Muhammad, all these false gods, all right, that you worship after. All right, but really, you worship kind of the white man as a false god, all right, because you basically think of him as a god, do you not? Because when you're ill, all right, or you get something, all right, you don't try to go to the Lord first. Who do you run down to? Esau. All right, you run right down to the medical clinic. All right, you run right down there, and you got a toothache. You go right down there, and I need a pill. Okay, I need a pill. The only time you know, and you know, I'm not going to give advice out, but the only time that personally I would ever go there if it was something really serious. Okay, I don't ever want to go into those goddamn fucking Edomite hospitals, man. Ever. All right, I pray the Lord keeps me, you know, and my family as well as you brothers and sisters out of those damn things. Okay, because those things are a death trap, man. All right, they're gonna try to do all weird sorts of shit to you that doesn't even need to be done. Okay, so stay the fuck away from those things. Don't, unless your arms got cut off. All right. Then, you know, if your arm fell off or something like that, then you might want to go. If you're having some, you know, super crazy thing like that, yeah, you might want to go. All right. But it's my arm hurt or this or something, anything with health, diabetes, you can cure all that stuff naturally. All right. You know, you should try everything else in your power. In your power is you have to pray to Yahweh Shem Yav Shai. All right. You have herbal medicines. All right. Healings that can be done. All right, fasting and prayer, meditation, all sorts of things. The last thing on your mind should be going to those hospitals, man. All right, those things won't do anything. They're going to sit you there. I've done it before. All right, I've done it before. And you know what they do? They sit you there and they put you on a fucking IV drip. That's what they do. And they're like, here's some saline. And they never find out what's wrong with you because the Most High doesn't want them to. So, and go not after other gods to serve them, and ye shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and your fathers, but ye have not inclined your ear nor hearkened unto me. You didn't hear what the Lord had to say, because the Lord is speaking through his prophets, but you didn't listen. You went and got all the things, and now you're ill. All right, or now you're dead, or now you passed away, because guess what? A lot of people died from, you know, the blood clots, man. All right, there's that, you know, that video that was made. It's called well, the word, I don't want to, because they don't like that word being said, the name of that thing being said. It's called, I'm going to space this out a little bit, and I'm going to say it's called died. Okay, and then we're going to say a few things in between here so they don't, you know, get smart. And then the thing that goes after that first word is suddenly. Okay? Put those two things together. Okay? And then look that up. It'll be on Twitter. Alright, I know it's on Twitter at least. So the last word is suddenly, right? So that's what you're going to put right here. You're going to put suddenly. Alright, well, not right here, but you'll put suddenly. And before it, you're going to put, wait a little bit and say a few things. You're going to put this. Alright, look that up. You can see it on my screen. Look that up. Alright, and it's a documentary. Okay, look it up. A lot of people have already died because of trusting in those things, when they should have been well, if they were Israelites, they should have been trusting in the Lord. So this is Isaiah 31:1. All right, it says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help." All right, and we know America. All right, Babylon the Great, aka America, is known as spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt. Okay. Isaiah 31:1, and you can look up. Just look if you don't take my word for it. You can literally look up spiritual Egypt. Well, there's no such thing as spiritual Egypt. Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, Babylon the Great, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And that's speaking of the Jakes that are, you know, haven't woke up. All right. So they're going to be in Babylon the Great, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. It says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord." So they go down, you know, and what does woe mean? Let's get the word woe.
Woe.
Great sorrow or distress, misery, sorrow, distress, suffering, pain, agony. Right? Many different words. To them that go down to Egypt for help. Alright? Because why? It says, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. And the Lord's the one who can actually help you, but you didn't look to them. You didn't look to him, Salakia. You didn't look to him, you looked to them. You'll help me, Daddy Esau. You know, and here, take this, we'll jab this on you, and that'll help you. And then you end up dying a week later. Okay? Because you didn't trust in the Lord. Alright? You went and got the jabroni. Alright? and now you're all croaked out. So hey, man. And that a lot of Jake took that shit too. And now look how unhealthy they are, sitting there eating lobster, a crab, and pork chops, and got this fucking shit coursing through their veins. If it can even course through their veins, slowly dragging through their veins because their veins aren't working accurate anymore. Fucking, just a blood clot waiting to happen, man. This is Psalms 1:18-8. It says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes." There you go. So you don't trust in the Lord. When the Lord is the only one that can do anything for you. Okay? Israel, all right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, guess what? The Lord's the only one that can do anything for you. Here it is, Esau has done nothing but harm you, but here you are, you're still trusting in this devil. For what? For what? For what reason? What are you getting from that? Well, they did a lot of harm to us, but they helped. What about the Tuskegee experiments? Yeah, they really helped you a lot, Jake. They really helped you a lot. Okay? It's fucking ridiculous, man. But a lot of you, Jake, don't even believe in the Lord anymore. All right? You believe in yourself. You trust in yourself. All right? Well, I can't see the Lord, but I can see my doctor. It's just Jake. That's just Jake. That's the state of mind. That's the mindset of Jake. Okay? Sitting there puffing on a black and mild, man. Acting like he knows something when he doesn't. Psalms 1:18-8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Let's get Psalms 108:11-12. It says, Wilt not thou, O power, who cast us off, wilt not thou, O power, who has cast us off, and wilt not thou, O power, go forth with our hosts? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Vain is the help of man. What is vain? Vain, and we're looking for definition 2. Producing no result, useless, futile, useless, pointless, worthless, to no purpose, in vain, ineffective, ineffectual, impotent, powerless, unavailing, fruitless, profitless, unproductive, unsuccessful, right? There you go. It's useless. The help of man is useless. It's not going to help you with anything. It's useless. But a lot of you, Jake, don't believe, all right? And because you didn't believe, and because you don't believe, the Lord's not going to help you, okay? If you don't believe, the Lord's not going to help you, and he's not going to help you through anything. I wanted to grab Matthew 13:53-58, dealing with a cause, not believing in the Lord, and because of that, guess what? Let's let the scripture speak for itself. Verse 53, Matthew 13:53, it says, And it came to pass that when Yahushua had finished these parables, he departed thence. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished, and said, Whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works? How does this guy have all this, all this wisdom and all these mighty works supposedly? And it says in verse 55, Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joses and Simon and Judas? And his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then hath this man all these things? They're like, isn't his mom? That's Mary. Yeah, his mom's Mary. His brother James. Yeah, they're all. What was this? What does this guy have to say? Let's see. 57. And they were offended in him. But Yahushua said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and his own house. And he did not many mighty works there. Because of their unbelief. He said, you know what? Cool, I'm out. All right, and didn't do many mighty works there. Why? Because they didn't believe. Okay? So the Lord's not going to help you if you don't believe. All right? And a lot of you Jakes don't believe. Here you are, and this is how stupid Jake is. Here you are, Jake, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the only people that the Lord loves, the only people that actually have a real God, a real power to call upon, and you don't believe in him. You don't believe in him. All right, you aren't willing to do anything for the real living power. Okay? But meanwhile, you will have these Taliban, all right, that will literally die for a fucking false god that doesn't even exist, man. For a false god that doesn't even exist. they will die for. All right, not condoning what they do, but I'm just saying, they'll do those things. But here you are, Jake. You won't. You can't even stop eating pork. All right, here it is. These other people, they believe their God wants them to go and kill people, which is, okay, cool, whatever. That's fucking, they're crazy. All right, these people are crazy. But you can't even, the Lord has a specific things He wants you to stop doing in this time. One of those things being eating pork and smoking and using drugs, and you can't even do that. You can't even do that. There's these people in these other countries that will stand there and whip themselves in the back with a whip or razors all day and making their back bleed. All right, all day. I think it's those people in those Hindu countries. All right, they'll do that all day, but you can't even put down a crab arm, a crab leg. You can't even do that, Jake. That ridiculous. And you can't even do that. Why would the Lord do anything for you? All right. If you can't do that for the Lord, why would the Lord do anything for you? This is John 8:47. It says, "He that is of the Most High heareth the Most High's word. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of the Most High." Okay? There you go. And the people that are of the Lord, all right, the Lord's people, guess what? They're going to hear the words. All right? They're going to hear what Yahweh Shemi Shai is saying. They're going to listen. All right? But the people that don't, it's because they don't hear them. Why? Because you're not of the Most High. You're of the devil. All right, and a lot of you Jakes are literally turned aside, after the devil, man, after Satan. All right, you're following all these worldly, wicked ass shit. All right, you don't trust in the Lord. All right, but you trust in Esau, trust in Daddy Esau to help you out, who is all throughout history. Just the Tuskegee experiments, Black Wall Street. We can go on and on and on. All these towns that are now underwater. All right, covered up with a lake. Hey, there was a lot of black people that died here. What should we do? Covered up with a lake. Covered up with a lake. Just put a lake over it. Call it like, I don't know, Billtown or something. I don't know. Just fucking come up with a name with it. All right? And then, no one ever mentions it again. All right? Very few Jake are actually even, bringing it out about those things. And you got Jake that aren't in the truth, that are bringing those things to light, that have, a little bit of knowledge, that know these white people are fucked up. But, that's it. And the reason these white people are like this, these so-called white people are like this, is because they're Esau Edom, the devil, man. Okay? But you trust in them, not in the Lord. Here it is. You trust in a man that has no spiritual power, cannot deliver you, cannot save you, cannot protect you from evil or from physical harm, and you have all your trust in him. But on the opposite spectrum, here you have a power that can deliver you, can protect you from evil and from harm, can heal you, and you don't believe in him. What kind of dumb shit is that? Our people let's get it. Let's get Hosea 4:6. "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children." So there you go. There you go. That's the state of Jake. We're going to get Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, right? 2 and 13, and then we're going to close out. Got to get ready to head out into the plantation. How long have we been going for? Okay, 43 minutes. Didn't seem like it was that long. All right, so, hey, Ecclesiasticus 2 and 13. "Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended." You didn't believe, so you're not going to be defended. All right? Faint-hearted.
Faint-hearted.
"Lacking courage, timid, scared, cowardly." All right? "Woe him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended." And guess what? That's the same in this truth. If you don't believe, all right, you don't have trust in the Lord, you're not going to be defended. All right? And you didn't trust in the Lord. All right? When they were saying, hey, the Lord's going to get you through these things, we all got, most of all of us got vid. All right? And we're still here. Okay? As far as I know, nobody in that's been following after, the true truth, all right, that's been coming out, most notably by GMS, all right, and the other camps that teach the same thing, all right, I haven't heard of not one vid death, okay, and Lord willing, it stays that way, because guess what? The Lord protects his people, all right, but we've heard a lot of people that went and got the Vake die, all right, like all over the news. All right, well, not all over the news, but all mysteriously dying all of a sudden. All right, just passing away suddenly. And you got to think, why is that? Well, they didn't believe in the Lord, and a lot of them were heathens, and the other ones that weren't heathens, they didn't believe in the Lord. Okay, you could have still been alive if you just trust in the Lord, but hey, that's the demise for a lot of people, is because they didn't trust in the Lord, and they weren't doing what the Lord wanted them to do. So hey, they ended up dying in that. They ended up dying in their unbelief. So hey, with that, that's all we really have to say. Lord willing, this lesson will be able to be uploaded, all right? And Lord willing, it was edifying. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Keep trusting in the Lord, not in man, because man can't help you. All right, keep trusting in the Lord. All right, until next one, Lord willing, shalom.